What is going on, everyone? Today I figured I'd do a video comparing my newly acquired Zpacks Arc Air Zip 62 liter in the Robic fabric to my slightly older, I've had this one for about a year now, this is the 57 liter Zpacks Arc Zip in the Dyneema fabric. Let's talk about the functionality a little bit, and that's where these bags are going to be almost identical. You access the main compartment through either the roll top feature or the main zipper at the front of the bag. Now I found that it makes for a tighter pack, if you will, when you load it up. When you're getting ready for a trip, you load it up through the top and use the roll top to compress everything. It just makes everything a little bit tighter. Then when you get to your tent, hammock, or what have you, simply lay it down and get access to all your gear through the main zipper. Very convenient, great design. All right, let's get into the specs of these backpacks. The 62 liter is made out of a 210 denier Robic nylon that is extremely abrasion resistant, more so than the Dyneema. And from what I understand, Robic is basically a stronger, more resistant form of ripstop nylon. The 57 liter is made out of a 3.1 ounce per square yard Dyneema, and it is taped at all the seams, which makes this bag a little more water resistant than the Robic. And I'll get into the water resistance in a little bit. As far as the size goes, they're going to be almost identical, except for their main compartment. So the Dyneema one has a main compartment of 42 liters as opposed to 47 liters on the Robic, but the front pocket is going to be identical at 10 liters, and the two side pockets are also identical at 2.5 liters each. And these 2.5 liter pockets are pretty cool. You can fit quite a bit in them. An Nalgene bottle, 1.5 liter bottle, two 500 milliliter bottles, etc. Plenty of room, very convenient. As far as the weight goes, they're almost identical. The Robic one is slightly heavier at 24 ounces, and the Dyneema one on my scale comes in at like 23.6 ounces. As far as how much weight you can carry in them, the Robic one is rated at 40 pounds, and the Dyneema one is rated at 35 pounds. Let's chat about the backs a little bit. Now, this is the new Arc Air system. Basically, Zpacks uses these pre-bent carbon fiber stays to eliminate the trampoline, the mesh trampoline like you see over here. They've been using this system for a while now. For me, I find that the trampoline works a little bit better at providing a separation between your back and the backpack. Like you can see over here in this example, the mesh trampoline does a good job at giving me a gap between the pack and my bag, as opposed to the new Arc Air system. I can feel a little bit of a separation in my lumbar area, but otherwise it rests on the rest of my back without providing much of a gap. Now, I like the idea of the pre-bent carbon fiber stays. It's certainly less fussy than having to adjust the trampoline every once in a while. But I just find that the trampoline works better at providing that ventilation and helps me keep my back a little bit cooler. So on a little side note over here, this is the Osprey Exos 58 liter backpack. They also have one in 48 liters. But anyway, it also uses this mesh trampoline system. So when I saw Zpacks using the same thing, I was excited. That's why I got the Zpacks Arc Zip to begin with. This is another great backpack, by the way. Price-wise, you can get it on sale, sometimes $160, $165. I got this one at REI. I think they had like a 35% off sale. I believe it weighs slightly more than 2 pounds, 2.5 pounds, something like that. But for the price, this backpack is absolutely awesome. It's extremely abrasion resistant, very durable, and very weather resistant as well. I've never had issues in water. I've been hiking with this thing without any backpack cover, actually. I always have dry bags, but yeah, I never had any issues with moisture getting inside this one. So this is a great backpack. Okay, moving on to the straps. Now, whether you're buying this backpack, the Arc Blast, the zip versions or non-zip versions, the shoulder straps and the waist straps are essentially going to be identical unless you buy the Zpacks Nero, Sub Nero, the smaller backpacks. Essentially, they all share the same straps. The only thing that's going to change is the fabric that you're going to get on the front of the strap. So this one is Dyneema. You're going to get the Dyneema fabric in the front. That one is the Robic, and you're going to get the Robic on the front. If you get the Gridstop backpack, you'll get the Gridstop on the front, and so on. So basically you're going to get these 2.5 inch wide, 3/8 inch thick shoulder straps, and 3/8 inch thick, I think it's about 4 inches wide, or maybe 3.5 inches wide on the hip belt. And they're very, very comfortable. The shoulder straps are even more comfortable than my Osprey Exos bag. They also have these daisy chains. So you can attach pockets, water bottle holders. It makes it really convenient and very customizable. All right, so let's get into the final thing, and that's the water resistance of the backpacks. Now, this is where the Dyneema one is going to perform better than the Robic for the simple reason that the seams are all taped, and it makes the backpack a lot more water resistant. The Robic one, they're not taped, they're not seam sealed, but Zpacks uses a hydrophobic thread. Now, I guess it works, but over here you can see just from the simple submersion test, you can see that the water enters the backpack fairly quickly, as opposed to the Dyneema one. The backpack stays dry. So all this test shows is that really, if you're going to be in some sustained rain for a while, right? You're out, you're hiking, it's raining, and you've been out in the rain for a few hours, water is leaking down the back, you might have an issue with water entering the seams. I mean, there are literally hundreds of stitches over here in the back that are not sealed. Now, like with every backpack, you should always use either a pack liner, a pack cover, or dry bags. So personally, I like to use the dry bags because I think a pack liner defeats the purpose of having a backpack like this one with the zipper. You're essentially just paying extra for the to have access to all your items, and if you're using a pack liner, well, you're sort of defeating the purpose of the backpack. So I find that using dry bags just makes it a lot more convenient. Another issue when it comes to water resistance are going to be with these zippers. So they both use the same zipper. They're water resistant number 5 zippers, and you know, when you're out in some light rain, drizzle, whatever, not a problem. But I found that when I was out in rain for a while that I have noticed water make its way inside the backpack. I mean, again, for me, it's not an issue because I use compression dry bags, so everything was dry anyway, but just something that you should be aware of. Another side note, if water resistance is at the top of your list, then consider getting a backpack like this one, made out of Dyneema, entirely taped at the seams with a roll top closure. The only access into this bag is through the top. There are no zippers, no other entry points. I find these backpacks to be the most water resistant out of any other ultralight backpacks. This is the Nero that Zpacks makes. It's really light. It's like under 11 ounces. I think it's like 10.5 ounces, something like that. But anyway, if this is too small for you, Zpacks makes a 50 liter. I think they make a 60 liter. If not, then Hyperlight Mountain Gear makes some, Mountain Laurel Designs makes some great backpacks, and you got other cottage companies that make them as well. Again, super water resistant. And yeah, after watching this video, maybe you're thinking, hey, the zip system just isn't going to work for me. Then these are an absolutely awesome option. All right, so in conclusion, the Robic is going to be more abrasion resistant and a little bit larger. The Dyneema one is going to be more water resistant and is going to keep your back cooler thanks to the trampoline. But for me, if you had to choose one, I think that the Dyneema one ticks a little bit more boxes. If you don't need the extra 5 liters of the Robic one, then I would definitely go with the 57 liter ARC Zip. All right, everyone, that does it for this video. I hope you found it informative and helpful in making a decision between one of these two backpacks or simply getting another backpack. And by the way, I'll leave a link in the description below to all the backpacks that I mentioned in this review. If you got any questions for me, please let me know down below, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. And I shall see you in the next one, my friends. Cheers.